No evidence has been produced to support the claim that these rigorous standards will have a positive impact on student learning. In fact, substantial research indicates that these standards are developmentally inappropriate, forcing children to learn concepts that their brains are not yet developed enough to process. So yes, Governor Christie is right to be concerned. Governor Christie also asserted there is going to be some kind of testing. We have to test children to see if they are learning. While no one would argue the validity of this statement, many would argue that PARCC is not the test for the job. I am truly amazed at how PARCC can somehow serve as a diagnostic, formative, and summative assessment all rolled into one. Years of research have established the role each type of assessment plays in education. Yet PARCC seems to defy educational research and practice. In October, Commissioner Hespe claimed the PARCC assessments will for the first time provide detailed diagnostic information about each individual student's performance. An effective diagnostic tool assesses a student's knowledge beforehand, and results are made available immediately. So why is PARCC administered in March with only 4 months left in the school year? And why are the results not available until after the new school year has already begun? It seems that the reality of PARCC fails to meet the criteria of what diagnostic assessment truly is. Strike one. It was also stated that the data derived from the assessment will be utilized by teachers and administrators to pinpoint areas of difficulty and customize instruction accordingly. This is, by definition, what a formative assessment is. But how can teachers pinpoint areas of difficulty and customize instructions when the test questions and student answers cannot be seen and the results are not made available until the beginning of the next school year? It seems that PARCC fails to meet the criteria for formative assessment as well. Strike two. Finally, the PARCC assessment will provide parents with important information about their child's progress toward meeting the goal of becoming college or career ready. A summative assessment does, in fact, measure if a student has attained a goal at the conclusion of a unit of study. So, in order to determine if, in fact, PARCC can assess a child's college and career readiness, one would essentially have to follow a child from 3rd grade all the way through college to make that determination. So that means we have to wait 10 years to determine whether or not Common Core and PARCC are making our children college and career ready. That's a long time to play the wait and see game. Strike three, you're out. Last night, Commissioner Hespe commented that for the first time we have direct tie-in between our tests and holding teachers accountable. To me, this is a slap in the face of teachers everywhere. How can you reduce a teacher's ability to transform a child's life to a mere set of data points on a standardized test? Standardized tests do not take into account the teacher who fed her hungry student breakfast. Standardized tests do not take into account the teacher who worked tirelessly to bring his below grade level student up 2 or even 3 grade levels. Standardized tests do not take into account the teacher who bought extra supplies for those students who could not afford it. Those qualities of compassion, empathy, selflessness, sacrifice, and dedication cannot be quantified or measured by a standardized test score. So I make the following recommendations. Repeal Common Core and reinstate the New Jersey state content standards. Unlike Common Core, New Jersey standards have been vetted, are constantly revised and changed to meet current educational demands, and are designed with input from those who have actual educational experience. Research has shown that New Jersey public schools have consistently produced successful students, so why mess with a good thing? Withdrawal from PARCC. Yes, Governor Christie asserts we need to gauge where our children are and if they are learning at a sufficient rate. However, as Dr. Sandra Stotsky pointed out last night on New Jersey 101.5, we already have a national assessment that does just that, NAEP. So why replace an assessment that has been validated with one that has not been validated, has a built-in failure rate of 35 to 45%, and will produce huge profits for Pearson at our children's expense? Number 3, assess student performance based on quality teacher-created diagnostic, formative, and summative assessments, and not on standardized test scores created by bigwigs sitting in cushy corporate offices far removed from any classroom or learning environment. Number 4, evaluate teachers based on their performance in the classroom, not how their students perform on a standardized test. Honestly, what other profession has a system of evaluating employees based on how others perform on a test? Seems silly when you apply this principle to other professions, doesn't it? Number 5, listen to the parents who have asked repeatedly for the option to refuse their children to participate in these high-stake tests. Governor Christie may not want to get into what parents' legal rights are because he doesn't know, but parents know what their legal rights are. And we ask that you acknowledge, respect, and accommodate a parent's legal right to refuse for their children. Thank you.